Alright, what's going on YouTube? I finally made it to the first checkpoint inside of Act 2. I know some of you last night would have seen me on the stream for roughly 7 hours trying to get this done and coming just short of the finish every single time. The luck on this one was one that really played against me. The unlucky nature of so many moments. Good lord. I mean, 7 hours. Just stating that is how long I put into just trying to make it through 2 missions into the first checkpoint of Act 2 on Nightmare. We're going to show the deck here, and then we're going to break down the gameplay, give you some tips on how to make it through, what my strat was. But straight away, we're only going to need 4 cards. The rest of this deck, I'm going to have to build it out further. I'm really going to have to change it up when it comes to the rest of Act 2. This is not going to be the final deck, but the 4 cards I was using in order to make it to that first checkpoint are going to be Run Like Hell, 15% movement speed. Cross Trainers, 20% stamina, 20% stamina regen, 3% move speed, 5 health. Superior Cardio, 20% stamina, 20% sprint efficiency, and 5 health, and then Hyper Focus. Now, big thing about this build is we're going to need to be constantly moving. The second mission right before the first checkpoint is why we're building up this stamina. And the first one, we're just going to speedily run through a shortcut. I'll show you that in the video. But the big thing is we need to constantly be moving in a circle. I'll talk about it more in the gameplay, and hyper focus is going to be necessary. Sometimes taking down some of the special infected, but especially for taking out these nests and trying to find Bob's arm. If you know the mission, and if you've done it on Vet, it's already a rough one. Worst nightmare inside a nightmare. But we'll get straight into that gameplay. I'll give you the tips on how you can get this done. I strongly suggest going in as a 4-man team, and I'll talk about how you can do it as a 4-man team a lot easier. It's still not going to make it easy, but I'll give you the rundown of it, let you get prepared before you run into it, and hopefully it'll give you all the advantages you need in order to get this done a lot quicker than I did it. Well, let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so let's get into Act 2. Straight away, go into the first mission. Gonna pick your cards. Play as Evangelo. You want that breakout ability. Obviously, we're not gonna pick up a stun this time. We need a toolkit, pipe bomb, and pain meds. Grab up any attachments that may be beneficial to the Uzi for you. Personally, that's the weapon I chose. It's got a higher magazine than the AR, and it's more viable than... Basically, it's gonna have us the most mobility, and we're not gonna be doing a lot of special infected killing. We'll need it from time to time, so if you do find one of those 15% bullet damage, I'd say buy that up if you can. It's going to help out a lot later on when it comes to the damage. But essentially, we're using the toolkit in order to use this one toolkit room that gives us a shortcut. If this door is not here and it's covered up with wood, you'll notice here in a second, over on the left-hand side, right there, if that's covered with wood, just back out. Don't even stress it. Don't even try to run through that parking garage. It's just going to be more stress than you need, especially when the next mission is going to be the most stressful. Could cost yourself, a continue as well, and if you don't have 2 continues on the next run, it's really going to hurt you. I will say I did have to use continue on the next mission, but thankfully was able to make it for the second run. But we'll talk more about that once we get to there. Now, this is one of those doors that I'd argue you want to hit that door straight away just to get that alarm going, because the next door you're going to come up to is going to be alarmed anyways. And the best thing about hitting that alarm door right there is it's going to pull all the common infected through these 2 doors right here, and then you'll just be able to throw a pipe bomb and let them just funnel through there and be able to run through here as quick as possible. There's going to be moments where, like you can see, bruisers right there. I've had stalkers right there, hawkers. I mean, any number of special infected have been beyond that door and cost me that run. But so sometimes it's better to hit that alarm door first and then have them already pull through, so that way you just have a straightaway going to this safe room. Now that we've gotten the easy portion done, now that's not always going to be easy. I've restarted it several times. Sometimes that door does not spawn, and I've had it for 7 matches in a row where I've had to leave game, come back in, and just run it again. Like I said before, I did have to use continue on this. I did fail the first time, but sometimes it does benefit you to use that continue because you will have more copper. And what I do is buy up 1 pipe bomb, and then I continuously buy up grenades and pain pills. Sometimes you'll be able to circle around and come back to the safe room in order to use these pain pills and these grenades. I've had it more than a few matches where I was trying. Didn't end up winning, but it did help me to progress even further and get to that close point where I was almost there, but the special infected became too much. Like you'll notice right there, I did see a weapon. I didn't have any attachments on mine, but this one had quite a bit, and it was only 200. Could benefit you. Definitely had the mobility stock on it. That's going to be a huge help, as well as that weak spot damage with that scope. But like I said, we're buying up some grenades, and we're just getting one pipe bomb. I did not need pipe bombs for the whole run, and I'll show you why that is here coming up soon as we run into the police station. But take care of that door first. You don't want to get caught up in that doorway as you run out, because this is where we're going to use the first pipe bomb in order to clear this front area. Essentially, it's going to make it clear for the rest of the game as soon as we do this. Now, there may be a few stragglers. You could pick them off, but you don't necessarily need to. There's going to be alarm doors you're going to hit here in a few seconds that are going to pretty much pull everything out of here and leave this kind of as an open area for you to come back to and safe haven inside of that safe room. But straight away, we'll go back after we use the pipe bomb, pick up a grenade. We're going to need it. There's going to be a lot of special infected on this match or on this mission. And they're going to be armored. They're going to be ferocious. When they're ferocious or monstrous, they're going to have even more health. But you'll just take out this door. You don't want to hit that alarm door just yet before you get in. But you'll push in, push off to the right. There's a couple of sleepers here sometimes 2, even 3. Sometimes on that left wall right there as well. But you'll clear this room out. You get some of those special infected down. And then, as soon as you see it on that left-hand side, hit that alarm door. I started always hitting this, because essentially what it does, for whatever reason, this outside area, if you stay inside there and take out those little nests and leave that one pocket alive for you to go back as the third hit, whatever reason, there's going to be like a lot of common infected out here, and it's going to be a problematic experience. It's going to slow you down. You just really want to push through this, considering there's a timer for the horde for most of the mission. Well, straight away, we'll take out that first one if that's in there. Sometimes it's a random spawn. Sometimes it's back in that corner. But essentially, we're going to do this as quick as possible, taking out these little nests to make that node open. And essentially, the biggest thing about this is once you leave an area, the horde, they'll follow for a bit, but a lot of times, for whatever reason, some of them will despawn if you move fast enough to the next area. So that's what you'll see is we're kind of like circling around this whole area, going from left to right, back to the compound inside of the armory, and then moving around. And the big thing, you want to keep these bots alive if you're doing this solo, because that's the only way you're going to maintain ammo. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of moments where you're just going to run out of ammo. I've died to it several times just because all the bots died. You want to kind of keep them alive as long as possible, but don't go out of your way to save them if they go down. You'll be able to pull them off walls later, and we'll utilize that moving in a circle and moving away from the horde moments in order to basically give us a lull period in order to pull them off. Propane tanks, pipe bomb, or not pipe bombs, jerry cans are going to be beneficial to you. Luckily, when I dropped this one, it just had a perfect landing moment, so I could take out another one of those special infected, that bruiser. Telling you, they could wipe the team really quickly. They can wipe you pretty quickly, especially if the spitters are out or the wretches. Any number of things could go wrong on this map. You could have 9 special infected just roaming around, just taking you out like nothing. And if you do have spitters, take them out as quick as possible, because I'm telling you, their damage is unreal, and how fast they spit. Oh my god, there's been so many moments where I had a good run going, and literally within a full second, that was it. That's all it took. I didn't even get the time to look at it. I barely emptied a clip into it, if that. And it must have been a few rounds out of the clip. But you'll notice we'll get into another choke point. We've just had a horde moment. This is one of those moments where it's kind of like take out what you can, but then we need to move. We need to just run. We're going to try and use that circle technique, and we're essentially going to cause all these common infected to despawn. So we're going back to the area we already cleared that we know is safe. And if you have a 4-man team, obviously it's going to be a lot easier, considering you can just kind of split up into twos and take out these areas pretty quickly before that horde comes in, and then leave that first node or that first nest as the third one, since it's kind of scripted. Essentially, whatever the third one is that you blow up is going to have the Bob's arm in it that you need to scan in order to get through that doorway. So boom, like I said, that spitter's doing a lot of damage. That was one spit right there. 25% of my health almost in one spit, and you know how fast they can fire. But like you can see, I don't have many common infected right behind me. They're still kind of over there on top of the bots that have already gone down. Walker is soon to go down at some point. I think he goes down here in a second, right outside. He just gets taken down by some common infected, I think, or something along those lines. Now, I did get lucky right there. I've been pretty lucky on this run to be able to take out these tall boys with those explosives. That's why we essentially are going to use those grenades. A lot of times you'll be pushing back all the way to the start in order to grab those grenades and take some of those out so they don't start stacking up, because they will start stacking up. And the more that keep spawning, there's going to be more after them. It's going to be ruthless. But by this point, what we're doing is essentially letting the bots die over there. We've got, it's pretty clear over here. Walker may die, but we're trying to clear this out to the point to where all we need to do, like you'll see, that's the final node for the nest right there. And that's going to be our final one in order to blow up and get that Bob's arm. We still have to get the one on the right, but we already got the one on the left. It's a bit clear. Didn't hear any special infected or common infected, so immediately getting Walker up, and you notice Holly's right there, and then Mom's about to spawn over there on the right. Oh wait, that one's Mom. But anyways, you'll essentially get both bots out of this area. It's a good idea if you're out in the left or the right area in the back there and the horde spawns, come back to here or push back to the safe room and then push back in, and a lot of the bots will spawn in here. Because if you're out in those other areas when the horde comes and then you run out there, they'll spawn in some areas outside here that just are not going to be very viable for you to go and grab them from. But you kind of want them. You want them as the meat shields. They are going to help. They're not exactly the most reliable, but at the same point, they're going to keep dropping that ammo for you, which is going to be a big help. Now, in this moment, I should have hit the nodes behind me. This could have cost me right here. Luckily, it didn't. A couple of the special infected started spawning by this point, but I thought this was the last node for this right side. As you can see, that spitter's coming at me again. Almost got me right there. I mean, we're like inches from death in that moment. Even with those pain pills, I mean, they're not doing much for me right here. But we finally get that last node. Try to get a couple of shots on that spitter. Try to take it out as quick as possible. But as soon as it's already behind cover, we're just trying to make sure that it can't hit us. So we finally get around to that final node. It's going to take about a clip and a half. That's why I say it's going to be a lot easier if you have teammates with you. Damage, is not strong with these 4 cards, but survivability is pretty strong. Like I said, I'm doing this solo. If you got a 4-man team or just a 3-man team, you could probably do this a lot easier and in a lot less time than I did. But we finally make it to that final moment. We saved this one for last just to have Bob's arm right next to the doorway, take out a couple of the common infected, get rid of that. But you'll notice we've got 10 seconds till that next horde. My heart's racing by this point, ready to go. I've been this close before. I've grabbed the arm before in a previous mission, but I never was able to make it. I had a special infected spawn right there, and as you'll notice right behind us, right as we get in this door, there's that tall boy right there waiting to slam down on us. I mean, you don't know how mad I would have been had that hit me. Oh my god. But hopefully that was beneficial for you. Hopefully these tips help you and guide you. Like I said before, try to do this with a 3 or 4-man team. It's going to go a lot easier if you can either split up or work as a unit, fast moving through that and avoiding all those common infected and special infected and kind of just trailing them behind you. Because the big thing I kept running into was running out of ammo. I can't tell you how many times I died due to that, because all the bots died because they just lag behind. They get caught up in the common infected. They're not the most reliable, not the most intelligent. So they'll just phase check, special infected, and things like that. But you need that ammo if you're doing this solo. But hopefully this helped you guys, and we'll be pushing into Nightmare further on tomorrow and later on in the week. So if you'd like to see that, head down to the link in the description. Follow me over at Twitch. We'll be running that tomorrow night, pushing into Act 2. We'll be working on the deck as well. I need to build that out. Obviously, it's not up to par right now. We're going to need some more damage cards. We're going to need something that's benefiting us, but it seems like each checkpoint to checkpoint and different mission within side of Nightmare is going to need a different style of deck, and it's going to help a lot more if you're not doing this solo. But if you're stuck doing it solo, obviously you can. I'm showing you how you can, but it's going to be a nightmare. But on that note, hope you guys have a good one.